Welcome back to TechBlog 66, where we explore classic cinema, untold stories, and forgotten masterpieces. Today, we journey into the world of historical drama and cinematic artistry with the 1944 Soviet epic, Ivan the Terrible, directed by the legendary filmmaker Sergey Eisenstein. This film is not just a historical account, it is a visual tapestry of power, politics, fear, and human psychology. Let's explore what makes this black-and-white classic a timeless piece of cinematic history. Ivan the Terrible was commissioned by none other than Joseph Stalin, who admired the film's portrayal of strong leadership and national unity. However, the director Sergey Eisenstein took a very artistic approach, focusing not just on the power of Ivan IV but also on the inner conflicts that shaped him. The film covers the early part of Ivan's rule, his coronation as the first Tsar of Russia, his political reforms, and his struggle against powerful boyar families who tried to control or undermine him. Even though it is a historical drama, Eisenstein turns it into a psychological study of leadership under pressure. The moment the film begins, you are struck by the grand visuals. Eisenstein's famous use of sharp shadows, dramatic lighting, and expressive close-ups turns every scene into a moving painting. Some scenes even look like medieval illustrations coming to life. The lighting is particularly important because it emphasizes the contrast between Ivan's public image as a strong ruler and his private doubts as a human being. His eyes, often highlighted by extreme shadows, show not only determination but also fear, exhaustion, and loneliness. Nikolai Cherkasov delivers a memorable performance as Ivan IV. His acting style is theatrical and expressive, designed for the dramatic tone of the film. His body language, stiff, grand, and deliberate, creates an intimidating presence. Yet his eyes reveal a man torn between duty and vulnerability. The actor manages to portray Ivan as both a visionary leader and a deeply troubled individual. He wants to unify Russia and protect it from foreign threats, but he is constantly surrounded by enemies, betrayal, and political manipulation. The narrative shows us how Ivan struggles with the boyar class, the powerful nobility who want to influence the throne for their own benefit. They fear Ivan because he supports centralization of power and attempts reforms that could weaken their influence. This conflict forms the backbone of the story. The film depicts Ivan's efforts to build a strong centralized state, secure the loyalty of the army, and eliminate conspiracies that threaten his rule. At the same time, it shows the emotional cost of leadership. Ivan becomes increasingly isolated, haunted by suspicion, and unsure of whom he can trust. Eisenstein uses symbolism throughout the film. One of the most striking examples is the repeated use of overhead angles, giving the audience a feeling of destiny watching over Ivan. In many scenes, Ivan's crown is shown glowing, almost like a burden rather than a reward. The heavy robes he wears seem symbolic of the weight he carries as a ruler. The religious imagery also highlights the idea that Ivan believes his mission is chosen by God, adding a layer of spiritual intensity. The soundtrack, composed by Sergei Prokofiev, is another powerful element. The music elevates the dramatic tone and adds emotional depth to the scenes. At times, it feels like an opera, slow, intense, and full of tension. The choral music gives scenes a sense of grandeur and sacredness. The mixture of dramatic visuals and powerful music creates a unique cinematic style that was far ahead of its time. One of the strongest themes in the film is the exploration of power, how it is gained, how it is maintained, and how it changes a person. Ivan begins as a young, ambitious leader full of idealistic dreams. But as pressure mounts, he becomes more severe, more suspicious, and more controlling. Eisenstein shows this transformation without judging Ivan directly. Instead, he lets the audience watch the progression and decide how they feel about it. A key plot point is Ivan's marriage to Anastasia, beautifully portrayed by Lyudmila Tsellikovskaya. She is a calming presence in his turbulent life. Their relationship adds emotional warmth to the otherwise intense and political storyline. Her death becomes a turning point in the film and a major emotional blow to Ivan, pushing him further toward paranoia and strict rule. This moment marks the shift in Ivan's personality and sets the stage for future conflicts. The film is visually rich, but it also requires patience. Its pacing is slow, focusing on symbolic gestures, dramatic poses, and layered dialogue. It is not a typical fast-paced historical drama. Instead, it uses theatrical performances and heavy symbolism to convey its message. This may feel unusual to modern viewers, but once you immerse yourself in Eisenstein's style, the film becomes a rewarding experience. Even though the film was produced during World War II, its quality is extraordinary. The combination of precise cinematography, powerful performances, and bold artistic choices makes it one of the most influential films in Russian cinema. It is considered a masterpiece of world cinema, studied by film historians and admired by directors for decades. In conclusion, Ivan the Terrible is not just a movie, it is a cinematic monument. Its innovative filmmaking techniques, psychological depth, and extraordinary performances make it a must-watch for anyone who loves classic cinema. If you are interested in historical storytelling, political drama, or artistic filmmaking, this movie offers a deep and immersive experience. This movie is available on YouTube free.